my brain is going in two different directions. One is, how could you have freaking messed up so badly? Like, you really messed up. If you think you've messed up before, like, this is the worst you messed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to this. Like, how is that going to be helpful to me?
Right.
That is not helpful to me. I don't have the answers right now, but maybe the most productive thing I can do is just like count my in breath and then hold it and like count my out breath and just slow my breath down. Like, you know, this guy up here cannot be trusted because he's just shit talking me.
Waiting on the wisdom, stillness is where it's all coming from. Sitting, waiting on the wisdom, stillness is where it's all coming from.
Thanks for tuning in to the Reminders for Living Lucid podcast. You just heard the voice of Devin Bender. In the background, we got a track that he and I put together a few years ago. It's a song that he wrote called Stillness of the Pond. And I helped finish up the production, threw in some extra elements and some mixing, some drums, a little bit of fretless guitar and things like that. Felt fitting to include that in the intro here. We referenced the song a bit in the episode and kind of come back to the theme of uncovering stillness, finding that within ourselves and letting that wisdom speak through us. We talked about that a bit in the conversation as well. We also referenced the previous episode that he joined for during Garden Fest 2024. If you'd like to tune into that, we referenced that a bit as well. That's episode 43. I believe it was called Planting Seeds at Garden Fest, which was a fun flow. Recorded out in the woods at a music festival with our homies Meg and Mario. Anyway, Devin gives a bit of a show and tell at some point in this episode, so if you are on one of the podcast apps, listening audio only, might want to hop over to YouTube, at least for the latter half of the episode, and see the visual component of what he's sharing here, showing off some of his new work, new art form that he's been diving into. So that was an exciting component to tune into for this one as well. As usual, we're going to kick off with a little grounding meditation. So I invite you to tune into some mindfulness with us here for the next few minutes. So I'm going to close my eyes and invite you to do the same. Feel comfy doing that. I feel like sometimes I wonder for listeners if a meditation feels like off the bat, like, I don't feel like doing that, I'm not going to listen. But quick reminder that you can't skip these.
Yeah.
Give it a little double tap, a little slide, 2, 3, 5 minutes down to the right side.
Times 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Speed through meditation, but we invite you to sit through the whole experience because it's going to be a good one. I don't even know what I'm in for.
Even if driving, it's all right to just let it wash upon you. You don't got to close your eyes, but never a bad opportunity to tune in. So just going to tune in here, notice the natural patterns of my breathing. Starting to zoom out and witness the mind doing its little dance. Noticing how habitually I'm usually caught up in that little dance. I'm very identified with it. Just using the breath as an anchor to kind of zoom out. Notice the body, notice the mind. Notice the witnessing of the body and the mind. Noticing the invitation to deepen the inhale a bit, bringing it all the way into our bellies. Oftentimes we're breathing really shallow, especially on a work day, just trying to get through it, get to the next thing. Just breathing deep, noticing that gap of space between the exhale and an inhale. Noticing that fullness of a full inhalation. And just setting the intention for deep listening and clear expression. Tuning into the hearty reminders. Just retaining this level of awareness and noticing presence as we have a conversation here. Right, going back. Well, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah.
We got to do a little, what was it, 4 or 5 of us out in the woods at Garden Fest, that podcast.
That was a good one.
It really was. It was a lot of fun. It took a full expedition for me to get all the gear out to that hillside. So,
for anyone who hasn't seen that, we had to cross over a log, over a stream, like straight out of Hansel and Gretel or Snow White or one of those fairy tales. Sean's lugging his electronic equipment over the water. Please don't fall in.
Had to scout it out. I just find like a decent spot that I felt was like far enough away from people bathing in the river and the music happening across the stream and everything like that too. I was like, all right, guys, I found a spot. You guys I'm like, oh, we're going across the creek then, huh? Like, yep, and up the hill.
Yep.
It was a fun festival. Was that that was 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Any standouts from last year? Do you remember much of last year's?
I was on full-on mission control mode. So, yeah, it was very much occupied in doing things that I was trying to do as far as this project I've been working on. So
the Unravel.
Yeah, the grand Unravel experience. So,
Okay.
Yeah, definitely want to be able to like show up to gatherings with like nothing to do other than play music and just soak it all in this year.
Yeah, gotcha. Did you feel like going with that mission? Like, I'm sure it came with its pros and cons.
Oh yeah, it's still happening.
Yeah,
it's on a pause, a hiatus, but yeah,
okay. Give me the update. Where you at with us? So it's been various remixes of your song Unravel, right?
Well, it started off as what we recorded the song like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago or something like that. And Adam and I were in the process of working on another song. I had gone to his place and tracked all the parts and whatnot.
Okay.
And then he messed up his like legs, so he couldn't walk. So he was like back behind the computer for a lot of time. And he's like, "Yo, what do you think if we get like someone to remix Unravel?" I'm like, "That sounds cool. Like, why not?" So he met this guy, Thane of Earth, through this producers community. Thane did a killer remix, and then he's like, "That was cool. Like, what do you think we we get a bunch of our producer friends to like get on board, and we'll give them the stems, the different parts, and they'll all, no rules, just I guess have the hook or something in there to resemble the original song."
Right.
And then about a month goes by, and now there's like 12 remixes, and we did another round after that with like 3 or 4 people involved. And then he was like, "What do you think we start a global remix ritual?" And I'm like, "Okay, like that sounds cool."
Ritual?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, we probably have some friends in like Canada, and like a bunch of friends go to Costa Rica, and like we'll figure out a way to make it like international. And now it's like things escalated pretty quickly because I don't even know how much of this I'm supposed to say, but I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, now there's like 30 artists from like 30 different countries involved, and like, I don't know, I'm getting film clips of people in the jungle in like Colombia, like with like red tapestries, and like this guy's playing the flute, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So
really,
yeah, things escalated pretty quickly. I mean, like
in the best way.
In the best way, but it was kind of like, oh shit, this is something bigger than what I initially thought that it would be.
Big time, yeah.
So I mean, that's about all I can say about that.
Yeah. I mean, how does that feel? Like letting that truly unravel your song into something, like you said, just like bigger than certainly the initial vision, bigger than you as an artist, as an individual. That's gotta be a pretty cool feeling, yeah.
It's a bit to process. I mean, none of this stuff has been released, so it's like nobody's really seen it.
Oh, okay. Except for the 12 remixes have been released, right?
Well, yeah, the 12 remixes have been released.
Yeah.
But like the rest of it goes like far beyond just the remixes. Think of like Playing for a Change, but like more like open source kind of. So
cool.
Yeah,
some TBA type of material. That's what I'm picking up.
What's that? TBA?
To be announced.
Yeah, to be announced.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, sounds exciting. Yeah.
It's exciting. I have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but like, I'm wondering how much or how connected you still feel to the song. Like, do you feel like it getting extending so much further outside of your hands? Is that like helping you to connect to it in deeper ways? Or are you getting sick of the song yet? Or like, I'm just thinking of some of the songs I've been playing for 4 years.
I mean, if it was like a really sad breakup song, I'd be like, I'm over it. But it's the songs that I write, I try and like make it something that I would want to sing like 10 years from when I wrote it. Like something that carries, significance for me.
You're trying to tap that timelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
So I have no idea what's going to happen with that. It's going to be cool when it comes out.
Good.
Stay tuned.
Heck yeah. Excited. Yeah. Yeah. I really liked some of the remixes, and the original sounded really great too. Yeah. You guys had a good production on that. Yeah.
Bought so much red yarn. And
yeah, we need to get you an endorsement on some red yarn.
Something like that. Buy your red yarn stocks.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, I remember. Was that maybe last Hope Fest? Maybe the one prior. Yeah, we had that dance party and just throwing the yarn everywhere. Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Adam knows more about the stuff going on. Like, Sierra knows some stuff. Like, I know some stuff, but like, I don't know. There's so much stuff that I haven't even seen yet, too. Like, it was. My song was like chosen, but like, I don't know. Adam is like, let's fucking take the ring to Mordor.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
I just swore. I don't know if I'm supposed to swear or not.
You're good. Yeah. I didn't even catch it. What was the swear? Okay. Mordor?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, how did Sierra Miranda end up getting on the track? Did you reach out to her personally, or was that through Adam too?
On the original track, no, Adam had known her and reached out to her.
Yeah,
I hadn't even really met her until after we recorded the song.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I'm picking her up from the airport for like different things in Maine, and I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Nice. Okay. Yeah, what's been new in the music as far as songwriting, and you doing any new recordings, or what's on the horizon?
I've been recording my soul, not into like songs so much recently, but things that will last my mortal existence.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Resounding Source show and tell portion of the podcast.
Oh, shoot. You got
Didn't you schedule this? Did you schedule this? I thought this was on the schedule.
I forgot about this segment.
All right, we'll do a little zoom out thing. All right.
Ooh. Whoa. That's sick, dude.
This is a little rock that I carved.
Nice.
And here's the back of it. This was the first one.
Dang, dude, that's awesome. Nice. I didn't know you had that skill set into rock too. Wow.
Into rock carvings.
Cool. That looks like a sizable piece too. It's like the size of your palm, just about.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, nice.
Just drive to the beach, pick up a rock, and I didn't know what to do, so I just put a little hole in the center and was like, let's go from there.
Nice. Was that just an experiment, or had you done something like that before? This
was the very first one that I did.
Okay.
I got one of those Dremel tool engraving pens for Christmas. Little diamond drill bits so you can drill into rocks.
Cool.
I ended up buying another one so that, because it's battery powered, so one could be charging while I was using it.
There you
just
go.
Rotate them out.
Nice.
You know, watch the sun come up and sun come down, and wondering
so
how long I.
Like one side would be like a session of like, how long would that take you?
Sessions are usually like, I guess 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
This one in particular, maybe, I don't know, 5 sessions, I guess.
Okay.
This I did in February, but it's like I'll start on a little bit of it, and then I kind of have to take a break. I'll carry it around in my pocket, so when I'm at work, I can just look at it and kind of predict the next move.
Cool.
I kind of produce music in a similar way, where whatever track I'm making, I'll have the track like half finished, just playing on loop while I'm at work, and then because it's a different experience when you're like at the DAW, when you're at the audio program, and you're like active in it,
right?
Versus if you just hear it on loop, it's kind of like a passive process. You're not so jumpy to make moves, I guess is what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I kind of conceptualize it as just like being in the weeds of it, like can't see the forest for the trees type of nonsense, That happens with me with music, just exactly what you're saying. If I'm too close to the details, sometimes I lose that big picture. And I've really been taking my sweet ass time getting this EP completed that I've been sitting on, and I was hoping to release it straight up, man, I was hoping to release it 2 winters ago. And then hope for this winter, and then hope for the spring. I don't know, by the end of the month would be great. But the 2 like primary songs of it have already been released anyway. They're already out as singles, but I've kind of like, enhanced them a bit, fluffed them up a bit. But one of them I added quite a bit of instrumentation to and stuff, like added some bass tracks and whatever, like electronic bass. And I'm finally working with someone to do the mastering process for me, because I feel like that's part of the struggle that I've experienced, is that I'm trying to play all the roles. Sometimes I'm playing all the roles in the band if I'm multi-tracking the whole thing, right? Yeah. And then playing producer and mixer and master. It's just too much. Yeah. It can be, I think, wise and certainly helpful to just get third-party ears on the situation. You know what I mean? You know how it is. Like, you working with Adam and stuff, I'm sure that takes it to a height that you wouldn't have necessarily been able to do solo. Anyway, all that to say, like, I was listening to one of the drafts of the masters for this song Silent Speaks, and it's just like still not quite sitting right with me. It's like, I don't know if it's the low end. Like, I think it's something in the bass track. Like, I want it to like cut a bit more. I want it to like drive. And I sent it to my buddy Nicholas, Niche Tone, And I was just like, how's this sounding to your ears, you know? And he's just like, sounds good, honestly. Like, he listened to it on some AirPods or whatnot, so maybe he wasn't getting like full bass response, but like still, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, sometimes you just need to like get out of the studio, get someone else to listen to it. Another example of that, I've been doing some dream work, which would be interesting to talk to you about. Without getting super into it, there's this decoding process that I have been using, and I had a interesting dream a night or two ago, and I like mapped out all the symbols and was like trying to work on decoding. I got all of them decoded except for one. And like I said, it's this process that like is pretty robust. Like, it's always worked for me. It's just sometimes I'll reach a roadblock. And I had that with one of the symbols. And literally just today at the gym, like just it being in the periphery of my mind versus like the center focus of like, I'm trying to crack this code.
Yeah.
You know, just like letting it be in the subconsciousness. Then it just like popped. I was like, oh, that symbol is supposed to mean this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes just like, you know, the best thoughts come to you in the shower type of deal. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when they're in the periphery and you're not focused on them. That's like, because it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just intuitively we want to figure things out so that like, even if we let go of like, you know, that direct focus, like we're still going to want to figure it out. But like when we can let our brains relax a little bit, like the figuring out part is like kind of an automatic.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of like getting out of our own way at times too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the spirit of creativity, which is really kind of just to say the universe itself, is already doing its thing. And we're like, you know, little machine elves in the big cosmic machine. Like, we're just helping push things along and stuff, like with our version of channeling creativity. But at some point, I don't know. Do you think it's like the ego that gets involved and that's what can create the roadblocks? Or I don't know, maybe it's like competing visions, like we're trying to serve two muses at one time. I don't know what it is, but sometimes maybe it just takes time to unravel, you know?
This actually, I'm glad that you said this. I was going to show you the second part of the show and tell, but this is probably like much deeper to go in on. I feel like the human mind is brilliant freaking thing, but it's so limited. And there's so much that like we can't fully process like the entirety of all that is within like, you know, one thing.
Right.
So we're talking about, what the hell were we talking about?
Yeah, we just don't have the bandwidth for that. We were talking about creativity and like what causes those blockages for the creative process. Like, is it the ego? Is it the mind?
Yeah, I think it's the ego, the mind, I mean, whatever you want to call it. Like, it wants to be like clever and it wants to figure it all out.
Yeah.
When in reality, like, you know, the sun is in the sky, you just look at it. Well, don't look directly at it, but like, you know, you can like point to it and be like, that's the sun. Like, you don't need to like be like, let me just make a whole freaking math equation, you know, and like, you know, pull out all like the tarot decks and like go see a medium and like be like, there's this light that's coming from the sky and I'm just really trying to figure it out. It's like, no, like that which is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So when the ego, mind, whatever, when it can kind of like take a back seat, that's when I feel like the truth of whatever reality you're experiencing like comes through.
Yeah, that's great, man. I think that can be applied to so many aspects of life too. Like, if we can learn to just like, I don't know, enter into witness mode, I think that helps us enter into creator mode.
Yeah.
You know? Or like, yeah, just let creativity do its thing. To say creator kind of implies this ego again. It's kind of like I'm trying to take the wheel again, like trying to make it about me. But really, it's about like, we're on this ride, dude. Like, are we going to trip ourselves up by trying to feel like we're in control? Or can we just be like it's appropriate to dream and like want things and have desires, and like maybe that's how we decide on some etheric level which train track we're going to witness, like which timeline we're going to see and stuff. It's like, you know, tune into the things that you want to be tuning into, and then just like take that back seat and like let it ride, you know, versus trying to steer into it and like, you know, white knuckle.
Maybe the dream is not necessarily telling us something that we need to do, but something that it's like a foresight of what's to come.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I didn't program the dreams in the humans, so
not this part of you, at least. Yeah.
No,
the higher self for sure. Yeah, no, I like what you're saying though. Yeah, take me back to the creative process, like getting in the back seat, kind of like cause I had another seat of thought there.
Because when you're listening to a song, you're not unless you produce a lot of music, maybe you're picking songs apart when you listen to them. But
yeah,
I hesitate to even really use these words, but like the average just like listener, someone who just listens to music for the sake of listening to music, like
most people, yeah.
Their role is different versus like taking on the creator role, if you will, without, you know, attaching ego to it. But like, I guess the channeler, that feels more appropriate. Like, we're kind of like, I feel like the channeler is like being a witness to the song, to the art form as it's being created.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's so true. Like an artist who's kind of just like watching their hand do this thing, right? It's like, yeah, we can train and we can take music lessons and whatever. We can get education on a skill set, but like once it's the moment of encounter with creativity, at some point we kind of just gotta like let the flow. I've really kind of, and yeah, you brought me back to the other thought that I had. We're just taking it back into just life. I've really been practicing this lately. I don't even know really what the catalyst for this new thought to come about. But I've really been practicing just like witnessing my body make decisions. To me, that's a way that I'm sort of practicing exactly what you're talking about, like kind of taking the back seat. Is that like my mind, and I don't know about you, but I'm a very cerebral person. Like that's where most of my attention is throughout the day, is in my thoughts. So my mind tries to like strategize about even just making plans or something like that. You know what I mean? Like think out the options, blah, 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 blah. But there's certain times where it's like, I don't know, thinking about it doesn't necessarily inform my body what's going to be most exciting or appropriate or healthy or whatever it is. And I'm just like practicing again, just like let the body like make the decision in the moment and just don't judge it. You know, unless it's something harmful, unless it's a bad physical habit or something like that, then it's like, okay, like maybe there's a level of discernment that's in the middle path. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I feel like a lot of maybe the angst is like, especially when it comes to making plans with people, there's like other people involved, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of at the place in my life where I'm just like, all right, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Like, maybe I'll be able to make plans. Maybe I won't be able to make plans. Don't be frustrated at me. Like, do whatever you're going to do. Like, you know, let the plane take off. If I'm going to jump on board, I'll be on board. Yeah. But like, you know, don't worry about me.
Yeah, for sure. That's the other level of it, the socialization of it, the ways that we feel, I don't know, that people can feel entitled to one another's energy just because like I said I was going to be available. Well, it comes to find out the day that, you know, it's like everything's going down in pencil is something I heard someone say, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, pencil me in, but I'll see how I feel. You know what I mean? And you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen between now and then. So we can't be too, you know, attached to plans at the same time in a social way. But like, how is it for you? Like, what's your relationship with decision making? Do you feel like that is an easy process for you? Are you much of a planner? Do you think very far out in the future? Like, what's your
sleep and stability? Like, I need a specific amount of sleep. Maybe not specific, but like, I know I went to work today, but like last night I didn't get to bed till like, I didn't get home till like midnight, and then maybe went to bed at like 1.
Yeah.
You know, so I have this show up to work Monday through Thursday thing that it's kind of like I have to prepare my body to be able to honor that commitment in order to pay my rent and buy groceries and whatnot.
True.
During the winter time, I'm the caretaker of this precious tiny little child of God, Luna the cat. So
nice.
Like, you know, it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. Like, she's going to show up outside my door and start meowing at the same time. So, I mean, I base a lot of my decisions around like, am I going to be able to have enough time to like, you know, eat food and get proper sleep? But then even then, like, yeah, what excites me, like, is kind of like my big draw. Like, I look on the calendar and I see I have no plans, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to sit on the front porch and carve rocks for like, you know, 3 hours and listen to weird music with like, yeah.
Gotcha. That's cool.
And it's like, if I can do that, like, I don't even have to finish a piece, but like just the act of doing it feels good to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like little goals of like, not necessarily goals of like, oh, I'm gonna produce something to put out there for the world to see, or like I'm gonna go and make a bunch of money, or like just like I'm gonna make art and have fun, and like that's important to my mental health. And like, if I can do those things, then like, yeah, that's a lot of like what has been orchestrating my decision-making process. As of lately. It hasn't always been like that, but yeah.
No, it sounds like a grounded approach. Yeah, just like almost simplifying, like what feels good and flow, you know what I mean? Whether that's like sitting and doing yoga or dancing or carving rocks. Yeah, just like, how do we feel good right here, right now? And I feel like it kind of does bridge to the like very ambitious archetype, you know, like the driven achiever archetype, where it's like we're almost trying to stabilize our self-worth by how much we can produce, or like prove ourselves, earn our living in that kind of way too. Like even just that phrase is so weird, to earn your living. It
feels so weird.
Yeah. But like, point being that like all of that is striving towards like a feeling of feeling good, of feeling grounded, of feeling belonging, of feeling appreciated and appreciative, you know. And this is kind of like a Neville Goddard thing. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this guy before. Have you?
I've heard of him. I'm not familiar with any of his work or anything.
His main thing was like the connection between human imagination and what people call God, or what people call like manifestation and like creativity, really. But point being that he has this thing about like live from the end. So it's kind of like just dwell in the feeling of whatever it is that you think you want, like whatever the desire is, the thing that you think you need to get in order to feel fulfilled. Like just practice feeling fulfilled. You know, like if we can carry that energy, that's a more attractive energy to hold energetically and just like socially too. Like, don't you ever feel like, you know, when we're around people that are just like chill in their own skin and just like they're satisfied just to be here, you know, singing, dancing, chatting, just saying nothing. You know what I mean? Like we can tell when people are striving for something energetically, or if they're like, just in that more like gratitude space and fulfillment space. And then on an energetic level too, that brings experiences that we would rather experience, you know, versus like if we're feeling dreadful and like, again, striving and like clutching towards our desires in an energetic way, I feel that pushes it away.
I feel like with desires, there's like, first of all, like what we think is like the highest desire for us, like the thing that could be of the highest good and highest enjoyment for us could very well be completely out of our comprehension.
That's so true too. Yeah.
I mean, not saying it's wrong to chase desire, chase dreams. Like, I have my own things that like I've worked hard on and have it in the pipeline, and that kind of helps me not have to worry so much about the future. But yeah, like it's kind of like what Jim Carrey said is like, I hope everybody's dreams come true to realize like that's not what they want. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a billion followers on Spotify. Everybody's gonna be listening to Stillness of the Pond. And will it actually, you know, bring me a sense of satisfaction? Or will people just like, I won't get any privacy then, and then like I'll go to the grocery store and be like, yo, you're the guy who did the Stillness of the Pond with Sean. I fucking love your stuff. Like, and I'm just like, bro. So it's like, you know, everything has consequences, but
and there's a balance to everything too, right? Because it's like you and I desiring people to stream our music. Like, it's not for the number, right? Like, we want people to tune into Stillness of the Pond so that they tune into the stillness of their own self, right? Like that. And I do want that. For me, you, and anyone in the world, right? But then does that mean like I'll be ready to die if that happens? Like, maybe not. Maybe there'd be a new mission at that point. But so it is a balance of like, yeah, we do want to like, you know, aim for a certain quest of like to share something or to like reach a state of stabilizing our gratitude and our stillness and things like that. But yeah, it's certainly not the fame that's going to get us there.
Yeah. I mean, if we have like 10 people listen to that song, and 10 people, Stillness of the Pond is a song that Sean and I did together, for anyone who's watching. He'd be one of our billion streamers. Just kidding. Just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, like, I wrote that in a time of, like, you know, instability in my life, and when I was trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to launch myself into a more stable situation, but like, you know, the mind is tricky and thinks of like 500 different schemes, and I'm like, all right, there can only be one scheme to rule them all, and it might not even be any of these 500. So granted, my brain is like frantic at this moment, so like the clarity of, and this goes back to decision making, it's like, well, I'm just going to do nothing then. I will do absolutely nothing. I'm not going to be afraid of like, well, you know, you could die. It's like, no, like I'm at the time was like probably like 25 or something. But however many generations of ancestors that came before me that had a lot more problems than like, are people going to listen to my music? They're like, all right, what are we going to build our house out of? Like, you know, they're probably like pooping in holes and like in unsanitary conditions and like hunting and gathering, and like that genetic code for however many generations that is traveled down and is now, you know, inside my being. So that gives me like a sense of, okay, we can relax into this trust of our instincts. And I say we and our, because like when I refer to myself, not like just the internal conversation of all the different, like, you know, gremlins inside my body. Like that genetic code, that instinct has been carried down through generations and generations and generations. So like, it gives me faith, it gives me peace. And if I can just relax and still my mind, like the answer will be clear as day, and I can look up and say, that is the sun. Like, you know, I don't have to Google pictures of the sun or like, you know, ask someone to write me like a sonnet about the sun. It's like, just like look up in the sky.
Open your eyes. Yeah. Look up. Yeah, totally. That's a great reprise to what we were saying about like creative blocks and getting out of the weeds of something is, I don't know why this is escaping my mind now, but just exactly what you said. I don't know. You put it in a way that gave me a thought, but now it's escaping me. But yeah, just that if we can just like let it be obvious.
There was
the stillness, that if we can still our mind, then the answer is like, boop.
Yeah.
Oh, there it was.
There was another moment where I had an experience with that, which is a long ass story, which will probably be like 7 podcasts long. So I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Basically, I didn't have my phone on me. I didn't even have my wallet, my ID. I had an iPod Touch with like half battery, and like had been hitchhiking around, or hitchhiked into Asheville, had been wandering around the woods lost all day, was away from my car, everything. Like, I'm not from North Carolina. I was on my way back to Rhode Island from Florida. I lost all the things that are like as grounding for a nomadic person as they can be.
Yeah.
And here I am in downtown Asheville, completely like, oh, you messed up real bad. You messed up really bad. How could you have lost your car? You didn't even bring your phone with you. You have no ID. How the heck do you think you're going to even like get back? Like, long ass story. So this is a kind of fast forward to the golden moment. But I'm lying down next to some sort of medical building, like on a piece of cardboard, in a jacket that someone gave me, and like mittens that smelled like puke. Night is falling. It's April, so it's still cold. We're in North Carolina. I'm between some hedges and like some sort of air conditioning unit, big squares with fans and whatever. And I'm lying down, and my brain is going in 2 different directions. One is, how could you have freaking messed up so badly? Like, you really messed up. If you think you've messed up before, like, this is the worst you messed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to this. Like, how is that going to be helpful to me?
Right.
That is not helpful to me. I don't have the answers right now, but maybe the most productive thing I can do is just like count my in breath and then hold it and like count my out breath and just slow my breath down. Like, you know, this guy up here cannot be trusted because he's just shit talking me. Like, can't be trusted. And it was like, I don't know, it must have been like after 5 minutes, it occurred to me like, the answer to my problem, which was to find my way back to the people who I had, traveled around with, whatever. And I knew that the house that they had left their stuff at, and I'm like, oh, if I could just get back to that house, how am I going to get there? And then I walked out of the bushes and found someone walking back to the house, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, hey, I know we've like only met once. Can I follow you back to the place you're sleeping? Which was a super awkward, he's like, stay a block behind me. But this is a long story.
But also pretty serendipitous that you just stumble out of the bushes just to see someone you've met before that's going to the place that you're going.
That's going to the place that I need to go to.
Yeah.
Point being is like, the mind cannot always be trusted.
Right.
No matter how clever you think you are.
Right.
Like, no matter, like, if you're like AP calculus, like graduated with like a 5.0 GPA, I don't even think you can get a 5.0. But like,
to your exact point, it's just systems. Whether it's a 4-point GPA or 5-point, doesn't matter. It's a system. It's a human system. Calculus, it's just a system.
Yeah.
We're looking at infinity. We're making maps of it. But the map is not the territory. You know what I'm saying? Like, as clever as we think we are, we still cannot like fully fathom
mapping out infinity.
Yeah.
It's
so at some point you just gotta throw your hands up and trust the experience and trust the mystery.
Take a breath, walk away from whatever you're fussing about, and like go make some tea, like go for a walk, like hang out with a cat, like
enjoy your damn self.
Exactly. Like, when's the last time you brushed your teeth? Like, have you been drinking water? Like, have you been holding your pee for the last hour? Like, because you've been hyper focused. Like,
totally. These are the real questions. 100%.
These are the questions, I mean, that I ask myself like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to come off as someone who has all the answers because he slept behind a bush in North Carolina. like I ask myself these questions on a pretty regular basis.
I think it's a really great reminder, honestly, that we can't always trust our thoughts. And like, how many of us do experience on a perhaps daily basis, like those gremlins, those mental gremlins that are telling us terrible stories about our self-worth or about our imagination of the future. Even if I think I'm the coolest person in the world, if I'm still imagining dystopias or something, or like the worst things imaginable, why trust that guy? That's not helpful. Like, if it truly inspires and motivates action, then that's one thing. But if it's just rumination and it's just self-pity and self-loathing, then like you said, like, I can't trust that guy because that's not helpful. I think you were in a dire enough situation for that really to click. Whereas a lot of people are floating in like sort of a luxury of modern life where it's like, well, I mean, kind of my physical needs are basically met, like emotional needs, probably not, but like, the average person in this country, at least, like, I've eaten, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, when you're really like in, between a rock and a hard place like that, it can be like, okay, the self-doubt is actually not just a normal, like, inconvenience, is like actually like not helping. Like, I need to actively like ignore it and get moving. Like, that's where truth is, and it is in like shifting of energy. Like, you know what I mean? Or
get still, like stop moving.
Oh, sure, right.
Yeah,
which is on the extremes. I think they're one and the same. Like the stillness and the constant motion, I think, are the divine yin yang sort of polarities, like the only constant is change type of thing.
This is like, I don't know if you can hear it in my breath. I'm just like, holy shit, like.
Potent. We just kind of rapid fired a few big life lessons at each other. I appreciate you sharing that story. I can only imagine what the 7 podcast version of it is, but like, it requires a lot of oxygen, and like, there's other people in this house that like
want them to breathe. So sometime when we're like outdoors in person, I'll share the whole story with you.
Yeah, fair enough. When
It's
was
a good-
that? Like a good solid 10 years ago or something?
God. 2016 maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, 2016 mid-April.
Wow, so almost 10 years ago on the dot.
Yeah, picture like some guy with like dreadlocks and a Baja like walking out onto some random person's property in North Carolina and being like, I got lost. And they're like, we have guns. And I'm like, cool, I'm not going to try anything. I just need help.
That's
like,
not going to help anyone get found.
Yeah.
What's your gun's going to do for that? Gotcha.
Well,
have you
I
been
mean,
back to... What's that?
Oh, I mean, it's pretty startling when a stranger walks out. When you live in the middle of nowhere and a stranger walks out on your property, it's like,
yeah, true.
It's fair enough. I understand why you would mention the guns. Like,
just so we all know.
Yeah.
The status of the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been back to Asheville much since?
No, and
No?
actually, like, I went back once. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to say this. Every time I've gone to North Carolina, weird things have happened.
Okay. Some not great associations with it then.
No, I try and go back and like be like, this is the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then yeah. But I don't know, one day I'll go back. This brings us to the next show and tell part 2. So we'll do the zoom out. This is the second rock that I carved. Turned off the sun.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Who turned off the sun?
I can tell it's got some intricate patterns in there. Yeah, let's get some light.
One moment, sing yourself a tune for 30 seconds.
Sing yourself a tune. Actually, that reminds me, I wanted to mention this song I'm working on is very much in the theme of what we were talking about. Of just like...
Silence Speaks?
No. Yeah, that's like that's done. The recording's in process, but like as far as songwriting, I started a new one like a week or two ago. Working title, Feel Free to Feel Free.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that, like all the verses are just all the very human things we try to do to feel good, and how none of them work, so you might as well just like feel good now.
Right?
So
Here we go.
okay.
I got to get the proper lighting.
Yeah, it's still kind of getting shot.
Obviously, I'm not a lighting expert.
But okay, yeah, I see ya. Yeah, it's got some texture, some dimension.
See how it dents in kind of like that?
Yeah.
And
Nice,
there's
dude.
like these little nodules on the side. It's got it. This part right here, dents, so you can get it like... This is the OG fidget spinner.
Yeah, dude. That last one was really cool, but this one is like a big step up as far as like intricacy of the dimension. Like that's a full... You like really shaped it.
It really challenges me, like as far as this creative process that we're talking about. When you're making a song and you can do like, 7,000 takes until you get the version you want, and then like you can delete stuff and move it around and copy paste loop whatever. As soon as you put that Dremel tool on here, there is no undo button.
Right.
So these are all, I didn't come up with any sketches really. It's all just kind of like a flow state. I'll usually start with like 1 point in the center and then 6 points like equidistant, kind of like Flower of Life vibes.
Okay.
And I'll go from there. But
That's
I felt
smart.
so good after, this was the first one I did. I felt so good after I did this. I was like, heck yeah, I carved a rock.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to remember me thousands of years from now. How big my ego was. So, like, there was like that excitement of like I produced something like that when I went into making this one, there was like, okay, I am a creator, I am producing something kind of mentality. And there were parts of the process where like it's like this back and forth kind of like tug of war between like this specific idea and we're like crafting something genius and like intricate and special and like smart and intellectual, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this other part that's just like, you can't overthink it. Like you just gotta put the tool to the thing and then go. And what you have in front of you, find a way to make it look beautiful to you.
Yeah. So
this,
true.
I hated how this was coming out.
Oh, really?
Like, this was my, just like, which you, I don't know if you can see, like, the depth of how much I carved down.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff up here is not visible because it's dust now, but
yeah.
I was just like, this looks like absolute garbage. Like, I hate this. Like, but then it's like, all right, no, this is part of like the spiritual practice. You know, you set out on this journey, like finish what you started.
Yeah.
And I just kept going at it. And like, it's like this constant surrendering. I don't know how to, it's like a spiritual experience, like just going at it and like feeling that tug of war within myself and continuously surrendering and letting go. And, oh, that was a cool idea, but like, actually, you know, let's carve all that stuff off. And, you know, maybe there's something more beautiful than what we initially like thought out in our clever little brain.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just letting that sink in. I love that.
I don't know what else to say about that.
No, I think you nailed it. It's just, yeah, that's really wise. It makes me think of also like the idea of sculptures, where it is kind of like you're revealing something out of, you know, it's a process of subtraction versus adding things to it. I think there's something really cool about that, and I haven't engaged in that art form, but I think I could kind of relate it to music in certain ways. Yeah, a little bit with this song that I was telling you about too, because I wrote like so many verses and it's already been like, all right, well, that one don't need that. Like, there's just too much. So I'm trying to kind of like get more concise, because I've gone in phases of that in my songwriting life, you know, where it was like when I started out, it was in more of like a prog rock kind of mentality where like, oh yeah, let's just make this huge odyssey or whatever of a song. And then like trying to scale back to like, what's the most simple song I can write, you know?
Yeah.
So I oscillate in those ways, but this one just like, it's both very simple because it could just be the chorus. That could just be the whole song, you know, feel good. But anyway, so yeah, just kind of trying to relate it to music, even though it's really apples and oranges a bit. But yeah, no, I love the idea too of just like finish what you start, to like do the whole job, you know, and like the surrendering of it is so crucial. Take it to Mordor. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you imagine if Frodo like got like halfway there and he's just like, you know what, like this has been a really uncomfortable process. Like, can we go back to the Shire and like go back to like pipeweed and like elven bread and like Gandalf's firework? Well, Gandalf is actually like helping with this whole, you know, bring the ring to Mordor, so his fireworks aren't going to be there. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm ready to call this journey quits. It's like, no, you finish what you started, and
those moments will be there. You'll want to quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure Frodo did, probably maybe every time, every day, you know, but that becomes one of those gremlins of the mind. It's just like, I can't listen to that guy.
I feel like that's like the moment, maybe like when you know you're onto something, when like you feel so passionately about something, like either a rock or producing a song or, you know, hiking a mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
You feel so passionately, like, I want to do this. Like, I feel it in me to pursue this journey. And like the tension or resistance, or like, this is uncomfortable, I think we're gonna stop now, like, is like, I feel like it's necessary, you know. And it's that tension is the coming to terms with the mind. It's coming to me as like that's how you know you're on the right path, you know, like that, facing that uncomfortability and like growing through that.
Yeah.
Maybe as an active process, but maybe even more so as just like a witnessing, like, maybe the happiness is not attached to our free will, because like happiness and sadness come and go.
Right.
Like,
transient.
It's finding peace with it all is I feel like the ultimate goal.
For sure.
That when we have that resistance in pursuing something that we desire, maybe it's just up to us. That's terrible language to say, but like, up to us to just witness, or rather, maybe we are just witnessing the uncomfortability instead of like, you know, like, I don't know, should I make this carving right here? It's just like, just go, witness it, let it be.
Yeah.
Like,
be an active participant in time, right? Because time was going to wither that rock as it already has, right? Like, it started as a mountain or a cliff face or something like that. Now it's this individual rock. Like, that's due to the creativity of time. You know, you applied some force to it too and revealed something even more intricate and beautiful in it. You know, you're saying like you feel like finding peace is one of the highest virtues, and it's like, I totally agree. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then also I'm reminded of, let's just bridge all the things we've talked about today. Like, in what way is peace actually already here? It's just like the process is more so time chipping away at all the things that are distracting us from peace. You know what I mean? Just being, period. Just recognizing that that's what we're here to do.
End of sentence. Being.
Yeah.
I am. End of story.
Yeah. Yeah. And fill in the gap with infinity and all the expressions of it. But yeah, we can get lost in that, right? All the details of infinity. Yeah. Which is fun. That's the game we're playing. That's all good. You know, this constant hide and seek with,
get lost in it, get found in it.
Yep. Over and over. Yep. Pass the torch on to the next generation and so on, you know.
So they'll find some, like, I don't know, VHS tapes somewhere in Ohio, like buried beneath the house that you're living at. Because we all know you're recording this on the VHS. And they'll be like, this is resounding source. This is wisdom from the elders. You know, we're like, I don't know, I'm 35, so I'm not that elder, but like 1,000 years from now, maybe we'll be considered elders, and they'll be like, this is VHS tape from, like, we have to continue on the legacy, and they'll be like weird future versions of humans. They probably have, like, you know, 4 toes or something like that. Right. Like they've gone through some physical evolutionary metamorphosis in 1,000 years, and they'll be doing this podcast. Maybe they're future humans. Maybe they're past and future humans. Maybe this is the dream, that we're going into this virtual reality of having analog stuff. I'm just thinking of like how cool it is that, you know, you can feel good about like you made a mark on an item that's going to outlive you, you know, that feels good. And then like, to your point, of course, this isn't on tape. Like, I'm just digitalizing more ones and zeros, you know, and in some cloud, maybe everything is captured and memorized, or, you know, made eternal in that way digitally. But like,
I'll give the example of like, I feel like this is an easy example for at least millennials to relate to. Like, remember photos? You know, remember like going to grandma's house or whoever it was who had like a photo book, a photo album, and you look at the 18 photos of your uncle or something, or your parents or whatever. And, and now it's just like we have a basically endless scroll stream of photos that people like have the ability to take and store now, which is like great, but it just almost loses its value by being like
so
in
available.
abundance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. But anyway, that's just a tangent of a thought. But yeah, because ultimately, like all these little artifacts, they don't matter whether digital or
Stone.
physical. It's like, you know, all of them are just distractions from like being here and present and in peace, and just trying to, again, like map the territory by like, oh, look at this thing that was my dad's or whatever. Like, this is special because of blah, blah, blah. Or I discovered something about past human, you know, whatever. It's like, that's all fun. It's all fun and games. But yeah, at the end of time, we just got stillness of the pond. Okay, man.
We got one more show and tell.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh,
Let it
yeah.
rip.
I took 3 rocks, you know, beginning, middle, and endish.
Have you made more than the 3?
I'm working on one now.
Okay.
There's something called eco graffiti. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
So you take moss and you mix it in with, like, some people use buttermilk or yogurt or like some sort of substrate, something to make it like paint-like, and you can paint it on things and the moss will grow.
Oh, cool.
So you can go on a brick building and draw some sacred geometry.
Oh, I love that.
And then moss will grow.
Super cool.
So the piece downstairs that I'm working on, I'm going to have these deep cutouts where I'll have like moss growing out of certain parts of the rock.
Okay.
So there'll be like designs in moss, like geometrically dancing.
That's a super sweet idea.
But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. That'll be on the next episode.
That'll be on the next episode. It takes like moss like 3 weeks to grow. So it's like,
okay,
all right.
That's not too bad.
I'm going to have to spend like 3 weeks carving the rock. Like, I hope it's not like wintertime by the time, you know, the moss starts growing.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get that big reveal.
All right, big reveal. I mean, this could be a rock, but this could probably be an even bigger reveal if we get one more reveal.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Oh man, which one are we gonna do? You have no idea what I'm seeing right now. This is a good. That's a good one. All right, we'll mentally bookmark that.
It's funny you just happen to have a photo album sitting right there.
Yeah. I'm like, this is.
I'm very intrigued with the
holy 90s Batman.
Yeah, okay, you're giving me clues. I was gonna say I'm intrigued to know what the content of this album, if it's just miscellaneous or from your childhood.
All right, grand reveal. Are you ready?
I see. That's little Devin. That's little Devin. Oh my gosh, I barely recognize you.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it right now in the little thumbnail.
Yeah, I was gonna say next to your
resemblance.
face, it definitely, yeah. If
I'm
I
gonna
just
pull the beard back a little bit.
yeah,
Smooth out the wrinkles.
good old 90s glory.
You can put that as the thumbnail.
I just might. Actually, I think I definitely will. Man, you're making my job easy this time around. You already got me a title. You already got me a cover. Fuck yeah.
We didn't even talk about Unraveling, really. We talked about the project, but
it was a motif. It came in.
It was a different type of unraveling.
Yeah.
See, we plan for one thing. This is like full circle. We plan for one thing and then like surrender into the what's meant to be.
Yeah. What's here to be. Yep. Was that the third reveal? I thought you had another rock.
I do have another rock, but I was just like, should I share the rock or should I share that would be a cool reveal.
I want to see the third one.
Okay. So.
Okay. Are those just that much deeper, or did you put some color in there?
No, so this, it rounds down into there, because it's got to be. I like that. It can't just look cool. It's got to feel good.
True.
In order for it to feel complete.
Right, it's 3D art. Oh, I see. Ridges, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
And then I rippled it out from there and got to the back. And then I was like, let's have an eyeball.
Dude. That's
and again, this
super sweet.
This is the third one. So this was the one that I was just like, I hate how this is coming out. And then it's my favorite one, and I carry it around with me every day. So when I got to this one, I'm like, all right, just have faith with it. Let it all... Even this eyeball has a little indent in there. So you have one on this side and then one here, so you get that fidget spinner action.
Very nice. Can I see that in comparison to your hand? That one looks a little smaller. Okay. Is that about the size of the second one too, I guess?
Yeah, they're all about the same.
Oh, really? I thought the first one was bigger.
First one, first one's a little bigger.
Gotcha. Yeah, that second one's really sick.
Nice, that's my favorite one.
Heck yeah.
I'm just like, shit, this is my second one? I'm supposed to, set the bar for myself?
Do you know what these rocks are? Because they're pretty dense to be able to take that level of battering. They're not chipping.
I think they're slate.
Slate, okay.
I think, because I know Jamestown is right across the bay. And there's a bunch of slate rocks, so I think it falls into the ocean and gets tumbled and rounded. And
okay, gotcha.
And it's a lot, easier for the tool to grind into.
Yeah, they start pretty smooth.
Yeah, they're all this kind of smooth, all around.
Mm-hmm. Dig it, man. Hell yeah. Well, I can't wait to see the fourth one you're still working on.
It's I mean, unless you really want to see the work in progress.
You can wait for the big reveal.
Okay, well, we'll wait for the big reveal. There'll be moss on it and everything.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I want to see that full vision.
It'll probably talk and stuff. It'll be like Furby, the Furby, Furby 10.0.
I was thinking of a Chia Pet, but yeah.
No, this is Chia Pet meets Furby.
Right.
Meets the Rock of the Ancestors.
True.
Be channeling.
And the Totem of the Future, yeah. Okay. All right, man. Better wrap up here. I like to end with a opportunity to highlight anything that really stood out for you, or if there was anything that you wanted to bring up or a thought you had that you didn't get a chance to say, anything like that. Maybe a reminder to leave off on.
Drink plenty of water. Be nice to your neighbors, even if you don't agree, because it's very likely that both you and your neighbor are functioning out of a very limited mind, which is very smaller than the reality of life is larger than anyone can comprehend. So it's let's chill and just be nice to each other, and take time to breathe and take time to enjoy the stillness, because that's where the obvious comes in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think you about nailed it. I think we had a really good flow of we kept having little reprises throughout, so I almost don't even feel the need to totally recap. But yeah, I think just what you said,
caught up on the reprises more than I was.
I always kind of like to. I feel like it's a podcasting skill, if you will, but it comes in handy in conversational life as well. I had a mentor, college professor. This is how I met him, but we had a personal friendship too outside of college and everything, and we would just have super heady conversations and whatever. He referred to it as the spine of the conversation. He was like, "You're really good at like remembering the spine of the conversation. Like we'll go off on a little rib, a little branch, and then like, okay, but where were we going again?" 'Cause he's like a very absent-minded professor type, so I felt like I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, you appreciate that." Like I've always kind of tried to retain that level of, I don't know, conversational focus, I suppose. But yeah, I think the where we really ended it was like sculpting out the clutter in our own minds and our own psyche to like reveal the peace and the knowing and the simply being that's already present. I think that was probably the peak insight for me to be reminded of there. Yeah. Sweet Devin, I appreciate you sharing your wisdom, man, and your creativity. Yeah, I'm loving the new flow. Seriously, yeah. Seems like you unlocked a new I don't know, skill tree.
It's learning every time I come around.
Yeah, brother.
Hey.
Heck yeah. All right, man.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
Love you, dude.
Love you. Enjoy the rest
Peace.
of the evening. I'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for Furbies.
They're out there.
They're out there.